Welcome to episode 5 of The Jenny Power Show. I am here bringing you live inspiration every day of my life. I am committed to empowering women everywhere, to awakening all of us to our best selves, to unleashing the fire and the power and the joy and the brilliance that is inside all of us. So I'm here and I just want to share. I always, have said that as I walk this walk and live this journey, it takes guts to show up every day. There are so many, moments today that I thought, well, I'll just take a break, but my integrity and my commitment to myself is different now. And I think one thing that I realized today that I wanted to share, as many of you know, I've sort of done this before, started a series called 100 Days of You, or talking about a page in my book every day. And I kind of started and stopped. And I think the reason that I feel differently about this now is that I feel like I'm living the truth of my book. So my book, which is called Empowered, The Woman's Guide to Following Your Heart, which is available on Amazon, is 100 Guiding Truths, which is basically 100 standalone pages. So you can pick it up, open it up, read it for a dose of inspiration for your day, put it back down and go. So it's a really easy read. But it's 100 guiding truths that I have learned along the way that empower me and inspire me. And I think the difference that I feel now is that I'm truly living this. Every day, I'm committed to showing up on the Jenny Power Show in the most authentic, vulnerable, honest, real way I can. And it's amazing how every day when I think about, okay, what am I feeling today? What is the truth of what I feel? What do I want to share? There's a truth that pops into my head and it's not in order. And I think before I sort of went in order, this is the first, this is the second, this is the third. And this is just truths that pop into my head from my book. And so they're scattered throughout the book. And so it really feels like I'm living the journey of this book. And to me, that's really authentic. And I think that's why I'm committed to it kind of in a different way, because I truly believe as a leader, if you are putting yourself out there and saying, follow this advice, or here are some resources. I truly believe that as the creator, the leader, the CEO, the founder, you have to have done the work. You have to believe in what you're teaching. You have to have lived the journey so that you can understand what every other woman is going through. And so this is truly me kind of using my book as inspiration as I kind of share the message of my journey. So I just wanted to share that. So today what I wanted to share is the truth that popped into my head is take one step at a time. So I launched this show. You kind of have this initial rush. You're like, I did it. I can't believe it. First episode, jumped over a huge fear. There's great feedback. And then you're sort of like, oh shit, I got to show up and do it again. And I got to do episode 2. And then there's maybe a little less feedback or people missed the episode and you're kind of like, oh no, I can't do it. Fear is like an ocean wave and it will take you on that journey if you don't manage your relationship with it. And I was talking to one of my kids last night and he was saying that he was afraid. And I said, well, we always say fear is false expectations appearing real. We can acknowledge it, as we've talked about before. We can put it in the passenger seat and we can say, I see you. I understand your job is to keep me safe, keep me alive, keep me from jumping in front of a bus. But your job is not to keep me from my dreams. And so you acknowledge the fear and I hit live again and I go. We had audio issues yesterday. Huge shout out to Gable Couch for helping me. Hopefully we won't have audio issues today, but we're doing this and it's messy and it's imperfect and that's part of the journey and that's part of what I want to share so that we are all inspired to take the next imperfect step and not give up even if there's a challenge, a hurdle, a technical glitch. We're just going to keep going until we get to our dreams. And I posted a picture today actually of Oprah holding my book because that's actually one of my biggest dreams. And I had to stop and say, I can't post this. People are going to think, who does she think she is? And Oprah doesn't have your book. And I stopped and I said, but this is my dream. And so I'll talk about that page in my book, but have big dreams. That was my inspiration today. And so I want this show to be about what I'm going through and what I'm feeling and how I'm putting one foot in front of the other. And so that's why I wanted to share, this is my book, a truth. I keep saying, I'm going to work on that in my editing. This truth really is about taking one step at a time and putting one foot in front of the other and saying, I don't know the whole path and I'm not exactly sure what's coming next. And I'm just going to keep going until I believe that I'm at the place or at a pausing point or at a rest stop or at a place that I can sort of look back and say, wow, I think Steve Jobs said, you can connect all the dots. And so I wanted to share that part of my book. So that's my book. And then this is my workbook, which also includes the text from the book. So take one step at a time. I will get to where I'm going if I just allow the plan for my journey to take me there. But so often I get in a rush and I want to just get there now. But there are steps in my journey, and each one of them is always leading me closer to where I want to go. I put so much pressure on myself, thinking that I'm supposed to know the whole plan. Now, I panic when I don't. But I'm not supposed to know the whole plan. I can't. I never could. Or else I would never get out of bed in the morning because there would be too much information for me to process. So, the steps in my journey are there to protect me. And the way that they unfold one at a time keeps me from being overwhelmed by having to process my entire journey at once. When you feel overwhelmed by your journey and feel the pressure to know more of the plan than you do, just relax. The steps in your journey will guide you. Take one step at a time and know that you will get to where you're trying to go. The steps will take you there. So that is so important for me. I have enormous dreams and I always feel like I'm in a rush and I always feel like I'm behind and I always take one step and then think about the 47 steps I didn't take or the 67 steps that someone else took, or it's not enough. We talked about, in a past episode that we have to say that we're enough and what we're doing each and every day. In this case, which is for me to shoot an episode a day, to take one step towards speaking my truth, building this show, sharing what I know to be true, and hopefully empowering us all to live our best lives. So I really want to live the authentic journey. So as I've shared, my workbook has kind of reflective, really positive, really inspirational questions that hopefully will help you to kind of think a little bit deeper and inspire you to kind of discover some truths within yourself. So I'm walking the walk. I haven't looked at this. I'm going to do this. Do you often feel like you are in a rush in your life? Every single day of my life, I feel like I am behind. Do you feel like there's always so much to do and that you can't do it all at once? Yes, I literally face planted on my bed today because I felt like my brain couldn't process, well, I have to post on LinkedIn and then I have to get Facebook and then I have to do this reel and that story and I have to link this to that. And it was like, I literally face planted and was like, I feel very overwhelmed. So that actually happened today. What are things that you feel rushed to do that you can't get done right now? List 3 things. Have a huge Instagram following. Understand LinkedIn. I feel like it's new and it's not new, but it's become very sort of popular and really has opened the door for a ton of speakers and is really an extraordinary platform. And so in terms of being a speaker and being a coach and being an author, trying to figure out LinkedIn like yesterday so I can make sure I'm providing valuable content. To be a millionaire, to not be financially stressed, to make money, to monetize this company, to get there, to get to that financial goal that, again, I think I should have been at 5 years ago. So those are 3 ways that I feel rushed. What if I told you that all you need to do is just take one step at a time towards each thing? How would you feel? I mean, I would be having way more fun. I would be excited. I would feel proud. I would enjoy the journey. I would be excited by synchronicity and the miracles and the magic that could happen if I just keep showing up. It doesn't have to be linear and thought out, but this random person saw this post and connected me here, and now I have this amazing speaking opportunity, and wow, this is so exciting, and what can happen in the unknown. I would physically feel so much more relaxed. I would feel less stressed. So if I didn't have to be in a rush, I would just sort of like watching a movie. I'd sit back and be like, how good can this get? So that's my answer. Here's a secret. The only thing that you ever need to do is just take the next step in life. Take a deep breath. Look at the list of things that you want to do. For each one, what is the next step that you can take to move yourself closer to completing this thing? Just list one step. So for Instagram, I can keep showing up. Watch me. I want to give 2 steps, but I want to make something more specific to Instagram. I can engage more with direct messaging. I can really engage with the people that I follow, the women and men that I look up to, and really try to create a connection by authentically supporting them and seeing them. LinkedIn, I can study the people that are doing what I'm doing. I can follow them more closely. I can follow more newsletters. I can really engage as kind of a viewer more in terms of LinkedIn to learn from the people that have sort of gone before me. And millionaire. I can figure out more offers. I can figure out more things that I can offer. I'm doing a ton of work around money and feeling that I deserve it. So I can really own my value and put together different coaching programs or different live offers and really own that as I'm sharing this, there's an ability to receive, money is just energy. And so it's kind of unblocking that energy and thinking of different ways to kind of offer what I know to be true and what I'm passionate about. Here's a secret. Taking one step at a time will help you to do everything that you want. Know that. Repeat this exercise when you feel overwhelmed. Just ask, what is the next step that I can take? Write it down and take that step. If you keep doing this, you will get to where you want to go. All of the steps in your life will lead you. Just take them one at a time. So I so needed that. I so needed to read that for myself. And so often I think my younger self wrote this book and this workbook for current me. But that's a focus. You will get to where you want to go. Your job is not to know the whole process. Your job is not to know the entire path forward. That is one of the biggest sources of stress in my life. So I'm going to take this advice. I'm really going to try to, even my energy, I feel it sort of opening. So think about things that you want to start or things that are kind of bringing you stress in terms of areas you feel rushed or goals you feel rushed. And just simplify it. Write down, the 3 areas maybe that you feel rushed. As I sort of said, hopefully you can follow these questions for yourself. And then take a deep breath and realize that you will get there. And the way that you get there, as Mel Robbins always says, the path is built one brick at a time. We might see the whole finished path, but the guy or the woman or whoever builds the road, they're just doing it one brick, one step, one paved section at a time. So that's how it gets done. And so that's how our dreams get done as well. So this is me walking the walk. This is me stepping into my best life, committing to this relationship, this connection with all of you, really wanting to pull back the curtain and say, this is what I'm going through. I'm fighting the fear every day. I am learning as I go, and I am stepping over, all of the reasons to not do it and just doing it. So this is the Jenny Powers Show, episode 5. I hope this inspires you to just take one step at a time, to sit back in the movie theater of your life and to watch the extraordinary movie that is your life. Because I think that it's the best movie you want to be a part of, because at the end of the day, it's your life and you are the best person you can ever be. So we'll be back for another episode tomorrow. And I hope you just have an extraordinary night, taking one step at a time.